What's up, guys? Happy New Year. It is 2022. We made it, and it's your girl C
and your boy,
and we are back with another video. And today we are going to be discussing more topics that either individuals or couples sent in, and we're going to give our perspective, opinion, and advice. Again, issuing a disclaimer: we are not therapists and we are not telling you what to do. But before we get into it, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification to get notified every single time that we post another video. So I'm gonna get right into it. I hope you guys have a prosperous new year this year. I hope it's abundance of health, joy, peace, happiness, and success. And let's get right into our first video for 2022. All right, so we're gonna start off with our first topic is affection. It's affection. Someone sent in a question, and shout out to everybody who sent in a question. It's much appreciated, as always.
The right time?
No, that's a screenshot from when I screenshotted the question. All right, so he's bugging. All right, so the question is basically helping out with affection in this person's relationship, different forms of affection, and if a person is lacking it, like if I'm lacking it or he's lacking it, how can one assist the other and stuff like that. So when I got that question, I did look up the 5 love languages, because I feel like that is important in knowing, I guess, how to display affection. Because what if you think you're displaying the right affection but you're really not? Like, what if you want to kiss up on me all day but that's not my form of affection? So you know, I looked up the 5, so I'm gonna say them so then we can really get like into it. The 5 love languages are: number 1, I don't know if I'm gonna read it in this order. I don't know if it has to be in this order. I doubt it. It's whatever sticks out to you. So the 5 love languages are gifts. Number 1 being gifts or tokens of affection. So with materialistic things, you bringing me like a bag or shoes or jewelry or what have you, right? So that can be someone's love language. Number 2 is quality time together. That is number 2. Number 3 is physical touch. So like actually being like kissy and lovey-dovey and cuddling and all of that. Words of affirmation, like telling your significant other like you're doing a good job. If you're a parent, like you're a great mom, like constantly like reminding that person of how good they are to you and how good they are in your life and all of that stuff. Just constantly reassuring them of their role.
Are you saying that that's a form of affection?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is the 5. No, this is the 5 love languages, which it goes hand in hand. Love languages and affection. And the last one is acts of service. And acts of service means like if there's like tons of dishes in the sink and maybe I'm always the one to do it, you taking the initiative to do that, or taking the initiative to do laundry or shower the baby, or you know, just showing me that you see me and all that I do and you want to give a helping hand. So that was a mouthful. So I'm gonna ask you, Troy, from the 5 love languages that I've read, which one do you think is your love language, like from me to you?
Ways that you show me affection?
No, not ways that I show affection, but what is your love language? Like, what to you is your thing?
I think I like to say physical touch.
I knew it. I'm staring at it right here, like, and I'm asking, and I already know the answer, and he looking at the list, knowing damn well that's what he was gonna say. So yes, I agree with yours being
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say 2. So that's your first. Put it in order. Physical touch is your first, and what would be your second? We're just gonna do 2 each.
Say quality time together.
Okay, so those 2 go hand in hand because
Ready.
Alright, so his is physical touch and quality time together. So this is what I mean about like affection. If his is physical touch and quality time together, but I'm doing something like completely different, like maybe I'm bringing gifts in all the time and think that's doing something for him, and it's not, because what he really wants is physical touch and quality time. That's a disconnect right there. So to the person who asked this question, that's kind of what I mean before I give mine. That's kind of what I mean. I feel like you need to probably sit with your partner and maybe even pull up this video. Don't even go Google 5 love languages. Pull up this video that I just told you. So pull up this video and watch it with your partner. That's a good way to spark up the conversation. Like, you watching the video and say like, hey, you want to watch this with me? Knowing what the topic is about. And after that, that's obviously going to spark conversation, because you might be like, do you agree with her? Do you agree with him? And blah, blah, blah. So that's a good way. And have your man subscribe too. And but it's also important to also just like, aside from this video, all jokes aside, seriously, you should look up the 5 love languages and discuss it with your significant other and ask him the question I just asked Troy. Like, maybe you don't know what his love language is. So you need to ask him, give him the list and ask him, what are your love languages? Just make it fun and not too serious. That way you get an idea of what his is and he get an idea of what yours is. And you try, that's how you pull him in, because your question asks, I don't know where the hell the question is. Is it possible to assist them? That's a good way to assist them, because with you knowing their love language, you could, you know, when you give a little, you get a little.
Now,
so,
is this person, they being rejected, or are they the ones being rejected? Like,
they didn't specify.
The person is not showing them affection?
I don't know. They didn't specify if the person isn't showing them affection or if they're not giving affection. But yeah, that's a good question to have added to that. I should have asked, but I didn't. My bad.
Well, you could still answer it though if that's the case.
So if you're not receiving, wait, first, I don't want to jump all over the place. So let me give y'all my 2 love languages and then we'll come back to that. So you guys already know what the 5 are, and I'm going to say mine is words of affirmation. I like to be told like I'm doing a good job. Like, I'm a mom, you know, as mom, sometimes you feel like, I don't know, you battle with like, is this the right choice? Is this, like, you go back and forth with yourself. I feel like sometimes from your significant other, it would be nice to hear like randomly, like, you're doing a good job.
I do that often, right? I'll tell you that.
Right. So it's nice to,
that's crazy.
I'm not gonna say you never do it, but not as often as I would like. Like, sometimes as a mom, I'm stressed out over the things with my child, like, or sometimes maybe I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or I don't know, you know, as a mom you battle in your head with what's right and what's wrong. Raising kids is not easy. So sometimes from your significant other, you'd like to hear like, you're doing a good job, like, I like how you do this with, my son is Mason, so I like how you do this with Mason, and I like how you do that. Or just not even about just being a mom, that's just an example, but even other things like, I like how you take care of home, like just constant like reassurance. Even me as your fiance, like telling me like, you're a good woman, and sometimes for like no reason at all, like it doesn't take like an anniversary or the day you get on your knee to tell me all these wonderful things about me. Like, you should be telling me these things like just because I'm that bitch. My dad asked me not to curse, y'all, so I'm gonna try not. That's my 2022 New Year's goal. My second one is acts of service. Acts of service is my second one. Like, if I'm overwhelmed and you see, like, don't act like you don't see I'm overwhelmed. Like, pick up where I lack. Like,
we had this discussion before too. Like, you're easily overwhelmed.
I am easily overwhelmed, but I also have a lot going on. Like, first of all, I'm a mom to a 3-year-old. Like, boom. That in itself is a lot. Plus, we have an extremely active 3-year-old.
Yeah.
who keeps us like literally on our toes, and we're only allowed to stand. But you can't sit in this house. Like, this is the first time we probably sitting for the day to talk to y'all. And that's because he sleep. If he is not sleeping, you could forget about it. And then it is a lot of, the demand for the mom is always more, because even when you do want to maybe help, he's like, oh, I don't want you to do it. I want mommy to do it. It's always mommy, 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 mommy. Like, seriously, I want to change my name. But being a mom is already overwhelming. In addition to the fact that I work, in addition to the fact that I'm a fiance, in addition to the fact that like
being a fiance is overwhelming.
Everything is a task. Everything is a job. Like, being Mason's mom is a job. Going to work to my job. Being your fiance is a job. Like, at the end of the day, if we're keeping it real, it's cute and all, but it's a lot of work, because everybody has to be happy and everybody has to be on point, and then you gotta be happy. It's a lot. So I would say acts of service. If you feel like, or if you see, and I shouldn't have to say anything to you, that's my pet peeve. When I'm overwhelmed and I have to like show, like, and it starts to show, and you had to wait for me to get to like, either I'm like crying or I'm like, I have like an attitude. You had to wait to that point to be like, oh, what's the matter? You need help? Like, for us, for example, like, you've been with me for 13 years, like, you should be so in tune that you know when I'm off balance and you know when I'm overwhelmed. So if I come from work and you pick me up from work and I get in the car and you're like, how was your day? And I'm like, oh my God, today was a long day. And I unleash and I'm like, I'm so tired. I was falling asleep at work, right? That's my thing these days. I stay tired. Don't let me come home to have to like shower Mason that night. Like, that's a little extra. Like, maybe I want to get in the shower at that time and get in my bed, and he meets me there.
But a lot of times I don't even know, because 5 days a week I could tell you what you coming home to say your day was like, and why.
But we living in crazy times, so like my days are pretty much like the same as far as stress at work.
Right. So you can't expect the same results every night.
I'm not asking for the same result every night. I'm just asking at the same time. I have stressful days at work every day. For one, to be honest, from keeping it 100.
So that's why
I don't even want to go to work.
That's why I'm saying you're easily overwhelmed, because if you're dealing with the same issue every day, you gotta mentally figure out a way to solve it.
I am mentally figuring out how to solve it, because I'm getting up and going to work every day. Let me tell you something. We are living in like very stressful times. Yes, it is 22, but all that crap in 2021 came right over, because we are still dealing with the Omicron variant. We are still dealing with COVID-19 and all his brothers and sisters that's mutating like they don't got no sense. Like, I'm in a school building with high school kids who literally wear their masks like under here, because that's the picture that they post for the kids to see where the masks go. They see a different picture.
So that's what I'm saying.
Things like that are overwhelming to me.
She would come home with that problem every day, and everything else fall apart. Like, nothing else could get better when you get home.
No, and
it should be a relief when you get home. Like,
no, I am very wow.
You come home.
Wow,
with that.
Troy, I'm very relieved when I get home. Like, you see that. Like, all I talk about. I have to be at work at 8 in the morning, right? At 8 in the morning, I'm on the phone with him as I'm going to work. And I tell him, like, oh my God, I'm so ready to get home at 8 a.m. before I get to work. I do always want to be home. I'd rather be home with my family, doing whatever it is that we do and doing YouTube, to be honest. And that's my goal for 2022, child. But it's a lot. So basically, because I feel like we're kind of going off about me right now, let's bring it back in. I say acts of service because yes, I do get overwhelmed easily. I will admit that. And I also feel like, but I do feel like I'm working in a crazy time in an environment that is constantly exposing me to so many like things. I have a son, I have a fiance, like I have people I have to come home to. I worry about them all the time when I'm at work. Like, I worry about getting sick and bringing it home to y'all. Like, I also ride the train. So like, I'm constantly exposed to all of this like virus stuff. So I'm like, and then it's irritating dealing with these big ass high school kids who like refuse. Like, bro, put your mask up. Like, so I get irritated. Like, I hate dealing with people. No disrespect, but I don't like dealing with stupid people. Like, you're being dumb right now. You're being stupid. You know you gotta wear your mask. I don't want to have it on for 20, like whatever amount of hours I work, but I do it. So get with the program, because I don't want to take what you bring into my family, and I don't want it either. But anyway, so acts of service, guys. Acts of service. I know I unloaded a lot on acts of service, but I need Troy to understand what I mean by that. So if you didn't know my love languages, did you know my love languages?
Yeah, I did. Of course I did.
Okay, so those are my love languages. And I have like, all of them are my love languages, but in order, that's my top 2. So to you that is struggling with like affection in your relationship and stuff like that, I would say definitely have a conversation about the different love languages and see what each of y'all love languages are, because you probably don't know that. And if you do know that, then you need to work on that. Like, if I know his is physical touch, maybe I need to be a little bit more handsy and stuff like that. And what's the second one? Quality time. Maybe I need to, take some time away from.
No, I thought you were saying that those are mine.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I show my affection. That's not how I'm wanted.
Oh, that's how you show your affection. Yeah. No, what is your? Because I told you mine, because that is not how I show mine.
Well, let me see. I gotta see the.
Like, what would you like?
Gifts, token of affection.
Okay. That's number 1.
I also like physical touch.
Okay, so that's your 2.
Acts of service.
I know, like, all of them are my love language, but in the order from the first one. So my first one was words of affirmation. Your first one is gifts and token. Mm-hmm. All right, so he likes gifts and stuff. So maybe it doesn't have to be major all the time. Maybe it don't gotta be like, some designer shit. Sometimes it could just be, hey, let me pick up. I was in Macy's and I seen like boxers, socks, tanks, and stuff like that. You like stuff like that for no reason.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I think that you need to definitely know what your love language is and definitely discuss that and try to work on that based on what he said. Also, another way that you could make your significant other, like, help them out is just telling them what you need. Like, straight up. Like, no bullshit, no sugarcoating.
Yeah, that don't always work, because you could say the same thing for months and months. And
I know, because I've been saying some of the same things for years. Right. He talking about months, but I've been saying some of the stuff for years, and here we are just winging it. But, definitely have that conversation, and if you know what the person wants, then you try to do that. If you know what the person likes, then try to do that. Like, if I know that he likes physical touch, which I do, which that is number 1. He lying with that gifts and tokens being number 1. Number 1 for him is physical touch.
Yeah, that's
what you give,
right.
But that's also what you would like to receive first over gifts and tokens. So he's bullshitting out. It's like it's all physical over here.
I wasn't going in order. I was just.
So if you know that the person likes that, maybe you need to start doing that more. Definitely have a conversation. And yeah, sometimes saying it straight out doesn't always work, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. They should still, because it may not work, but it also may work. Mm-hmm. So you should also just tell the person straight up how you're feeling. And then try to like switch it up. Do like sweet things. Like if you're not used to doing sweet things, maybe you as a female need to do like the rose petal thing, the lingerie thing, like pull out all the stops.
The lingerie thing definitely works. The male
appreciates that.
The male should do the rose petal thing, and the female should do the lingerie.
Right, I agree that it should be like that, but sometimes it's not like that. So sometimes as a female you gotta take the initiative and do the whole thing, because like men, they're dumb and they don't be knowing what to do. And you could, as much as I'm saying for just tell him, sometimes you can tell him and it will literally go over his head. Right. So sometimes you as a female, if the shoe fits. So
I'm feeling mad heat right here. Like you coming for someone.
So I would say like, sometimes you gotta pull out all the stops, and for the man, it's vice versa. Sometimes he gotta pull out all the stops. Sometimes he gotta get the fresh cut, like he just got. take a shower, you know, put on, like, obviously he's not gonna wear lingerie, but, you know, put on your, like, fresh favorite, whatever, pair of boxers. Set the tone. The guy should do the rose petals, be clean shaved and all of that stuff to entice the girl. And also for the female, sometimes you could do that same thing too. Get in the shower, smell good, make sure your hair's not looking, and don't be sick. Hold up, because I have to touch on another part. I was about to end the affection topic, but I'm gonna bring it back. Let me reel it in. Let me tell you, number one, for a female, especially for both male and female, but especially for a female, make sure that you're always well groomed. Like, and when I mean well groomed, I mean everything. Like, shave your legs, shave your armpits, or wax or laser, whatever your preference is. But I'm just saying, remove the hair. Remove the hair off your cat. Like, wax, shave, whatever. Like, make sure, like, and I know we have our moments where it's like you probably waiting for this date to do this and whatever, and that's fine. But for the most part, try to, like, you know, and always try to, like, smell good. Be cute in the house, because all of that stuff is, like, affection without you necessarily, like, showing it. Like, not coming on to the person, but showing, like, I look good and I look good enough that you're gonna come on to me. That could spark something up.
Right.
Like,
don't come home right away and just
snatch the wig off, sis. Like, come. Yeah, and let me tell you guys, and I'm not showing off, but when I used to wear, like, I mean, I still wear wigs, but when I first started wearing wigs and stuff like that, remember when we would go out and when it's time to go to bed, I would take off my wig, unbraid my hair, and put it in a high ponytail, because I refused to sit next to my man with like meeks. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, sitting there, like, looking like two dudes. Like, I feel like you girls need to, like, I know it's 2022, and you feel like times have modernized and evolved, and men know what it is, but I don't think like that. I don't have that mindset, like, oh, he know about wigs now, and he know I'm about to have the braids underneath, so he know what it is. I don't think that's cool. I think as a female, you should always stay, like, on top of your shit. Like, no, yeah, he know what it is, but
right, like she just took the wig off and braided her
hair like
herself.
I just box braided my hair. Okay, shout out to me. I just box braided my hair all by myself because I took the wig off and I washed my hair, and I'm like, damn. I went and looked in the mirror like, well, I'm not doing this. So I'm like, you know what? I said to him, I think I'm gonna box braid my hair. You could just help me. Like, I'll show you my parts. You let me know if they straight, which he didn't do though, but my sisters helped me. And I braided my whole hair, and now at least, like, we're not going anywhere. We're sitting in the house. It's mad COVID outside. We're chilling, but at least I'm chilling like this. And I'm not, you know, to each his own. And not everybody could do this, like box braid their hair, but you could slick your hair in a ponytail. It's just the neatness, the effort. Men see that, and you should do that. And same thing for men. Like, don't get up and just be lounging around and just, like, get up, brush your teeth. Jump in the shower, like, be fresh also, because nobody want to be hopping on a dirty beep. So, you know, so that's what I have to say for the person who sent affection. I hope I answered your questions, or we hope we answered your question. And we hope that you could piggyback off of some of the things that we said and apply it to your relationship. If you want to touch us back with more topics, or, like, if you watched this and we didn't answer and you need us to get a little bit more specific, let me know. Everything doesn't have to be a video. I could just write you back and we could chop it up like that. Okay? But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified every single time that Cynthia and Troy post another video. See you soon. Bye.
Peace.
Okay.